Good morning. I'm Darcy Backegard here with Prairie Public Broadcasting, sharing some K-2 resources from PBS LearningMedia to help you get fired up and ready for the school year. So as we get started, I just want to find out where folks are from, where you're teaching, and what grade level you teach, or what grade level of teachers you might work with. If you're a curriculum coach or someone who does coaching, what grade level? So as you are logging in, please find under the More options, the chat box, and you can type in a little message and just let me know where you're joining from and what grade level you teach or what grade level teachers you work with. And then that way I can help tailor the chat a little bit to your needs. So I'll keep an eye on the chat box to see what's coming in. The goal of today is just to share a couple quick free resources from PBS LearningMedia and strategize a little bit about how you might use digital media in your classroom as you get started for the school year. So I will share with you this document. If you're watching the chat recording, I will put the doc in the recording link. If you are here in the chat room, it's in the chat feature now, and that link will take you to this document. This is a one-stop shop for some of my favorite K-2 resources. Keep in mind, this isn't everything that's on LearningMedia. This is just a place to help you get started and some resources that you might find helpful. So if you need a little bit more help on how to use LearningMedia, there's a little video here to walk you through that. If you're a Schoology school, here's a link so that you can link LearningMedia into your Schoology account. And then everything is organized by general subject. So some social studies content, some social emotional resources, and we're going to come back to those for back to school. A couple math, some STEAM and science collections, reading and literacy, and then some general resources. So this morning, it looks like we have a couple first grade teachers with us. So we're gonna start with the back to school, and then we'll just dive into a couple resources. So all of the links in the document will take you to PBS LearningMedia, which is a free site for teachers. You can create an account, and that allows you to help save resources to your collection. You can favorite things just like you would on social media with a little heart, but you don't have to create an account. You can just use this as a first stop when you're looking for support resources and materials anytime you're teaching something in your classroom. So there's this nice little back to school 2018 collection that has just a few helpful things for teachers, but also for parents. And I think that's one of the strongest ways that you can use this digital media in your classroom. So we've got a back to school, all about the holidays collection. These collections will have a variety of resources for you. So here's a video about getting started for the new school year. So something to share at home in a back to school newsletter, something to share with parents on back to school night, something to watch with parents and students at back to school night. Many different ways to use that. There is a lovely full episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in here. One of the things I love about LearningMedia is most of the time, the resource is clipped down to short segments that are anywhere from 30 seconds to a couple minutes long. But a school bus ride with Mr. Rogers, this actually is a full-length video, and you can stream this video with your students, use it in your classroom. So I'm going to ask you to go to your chat box, and you'll find that over the More options, and just chat, how might you use a video in your classroom as you're getting ready for back to school? What is one way that you might do that? My other favorite resource in here, because it tugs on my heartstrings as not a parent yet, but as an aunt and someone who understands that those first couple of days can be pretty difficult, no matter how excited a kid might be or a parent might be for back to school. The idea of having to be separated from their parents can be very stressful for those little ones. I also like this because it does have a couple tips on ways you might use this video in your classroom. So there are a few videos in here, and again, the video is included. This is a full-length video of Daniel Tiger, so you can watch the whole episode, and it's about Daniel going to school. So if we go ahead, he's very excited to see all of his friends. He's excited to meet his teacher. And then as soon as the day begins, he asks his dad to come start playing blocks with him. And then the dad explains that he has to leave, and Daniel gets very sad. So then the rest of the episode is helping Daniel learn a strategy for how to deal with these emotions that he's going through. So that is one of my favorite things. You can see in this, there's also a series of additional little resources, as well as some quick guides for you as a teacher to share with parents, provide at a back to school night, send out in a newsletter, but this PDF can give you and your parents and students a couple tips on how to ease into the school year. If you want more from Daniel Tiger on this resource sheet, if you scroll up to the social emotional section, the Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood Collection is right here. And one of my favorite things, and I've heard good tips from parent friends and teachers who use the strategy songs from Daniel Tiger. When something is happening, instead of intervening, they will play the strategy song once students are familiar with it or kids are familiar with it. And then that strategy song is the signal, and then the kids start singing along with it, and that can shift the focus and shift the tension. So I've provided a link directly to all of those strategy songs so that you can go right here and find the song that you want to use for a different thing. So here's the Grown Ups Come Back strategy song. And if you click on this resource, you'll see that now instead of the full episode, it's only a minute long. So this is just the strategy song. The rest of the episode has been cut off, and so you can focus on this content. And I love the convenience of this because there are some built-in ways that you can share this back to parents at home. So you can grab the link from it here, and then you can include it in any, again, email newsletters you're sending or resources that you're sending home. If you have a Google Classroom set up, you can share it directly to your Google Classroom. I'm not signed into my classroom, but I can choose which classroom I want to share that to. You can email it directly. You can share it on social media. This one is my favorite if you're not familiar with Remind. At the high school level, this was very convenient to me because this is a text service, and there are a few other ones that are great, but I like the simplicity of Remind. When I'm logged in, all that people have to do is text a number. I give them a code, they send a text, and that automatically joins them to Remind. And then anytime I want to share something out, then I just set up a little note in Remind, and it sends a text message. So for me at the high school level, this worked great because it went to students' phones, not to their email, and that was critical for me. But it was also great for parents because then it was just a short message. So what a powerful way, if you're talking about this strategy song in school, at the end of the day to follow that up and send the strategy song home via email, via Remind, via whatever platform you use, then parents can follow up on that same content later that day and help really continue that conversation. That's a great reminder. There is a Daniel Tiger parent app that has all of those songs, and it's free. So you can also help guide parents to that app. Parents can access learning media. It might not be as helpful or convenient for them. There's also this nice little Life's Little Lessons collection for Daniel Tiger, and it has a variety of life's little lessons. Here's the separation lesson we were just talking about. But these are the longer, this is a great one. I love when she is mad, and then learning what to do with the mads. So in this collection, you'll see that there's a lot more tips. There are classroom activities, there's the teacher tips, there's the song, there's the When You Feel So Mad song. So these Life's Little Lessons is kind of a complete kit of resources to help you explore that topic area. So that's one of my favorite resources. As you go through, just another quick way to spark kids and to help use digital media in the classroom. A simple collection that I think is really cool under the Science and STEAM collection is this Nature Nuggets. And this is just another idea of how to use media in the classroom. So this is a series of short videos about nature. And there would be all kinds of ways to use these videos. Certainly, you could use them if this was connected to your content and you were going to read a book about chimpanzees. You could use this video as part of that lesson, as an introduction to that book, as an introduction to something you're talking about if you were just learning about the different animal. But you could also use this video as a student inquiry to help students make observations, to help students formulate questions, and use these different videos as short, what do you notice? What do you see? What is different about how the chimpanzee lives compared to other animals we've talked about? So you can encourage students to start making comparisons. You can encourage them to just make observations. What do you see? If you pause the video, ask students, what do they see? What questions do they have about this? Why do the chimpanzees sleep up in a tree and not down on the ground? And then have them hypothesize. So these are very cool little nature nuggets, and I like that they are truly nuggets. They're about a minute long usually, so a very quick, easy way to explore nature, bring a cool video into the classroom, and help students talk about a different aspect of nature. So use these videos to start a unit, use them within, use it as part of rotations. If you were learning about different animals, certainly one station could just be a couple of devices with this page up, and then the students watch this video and answer some questions. So lots of ways to use the nature nuggets. As you go through here, you'll see that there are also just a lot of your favorite things. Ready, Jet, Go has all kinds of great songs for exploring space. There are some great reading resources in here, including some programs that are specifically designed to be done at home. So check all those out. The Greater About the Holidays collection has a variety of resources about, well, shockingly, about the holidays. So you can sort through the different holidays, and then every holiday has a little video, it has activity sheets, and some different ways to talk about that holiday and why we celebrate it with your students. There's also a fun summer learning packet, a little less relevant now as we're gearing up for back to school, but I've shared some of my favorite collections there. In addition to the collections, though, don't be afraid to just search for something that you want to teach your kids about. You can filter the content by grade level, you can filter it by subject that you want, and you can filter it by the type of media that you would like to get back. So you can just search and you will get, like you would from any database or website, a variety of hits back on this. Everything that I've provided in the resource sheet takes you to a collection of resources. So there's some of the larger collections of resources that have a variety of stuff, including a nice little makers that has a variety of design and engineering projects and quick crafts and tips that you can help create a makerspace in your classroom. So those are the main resources that I wanted to hit on. There's so much here. I can't possibly share everything. If you have a specific question of something that you would like to find out about, please let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to wrap up and wish everyone a great school year. Thanks.